I want to bring in Akshay Dongre also on this broadcast. He's joining us from outside the Lal Killa, the Red Fort in New Delhi. Part of Old Delhi, essentially, Akshay. These pockets of Old Delhi have been perhaps the worst affected. Red Fort surrounding it yesterday was full of water, full of the Yamuna flowing through. What's the situation today?
Well, Chita, if we talk about the Red Fort area especially, the water levels were much lower as
Apologies, we'll just reconnect with Akshay. We're having a bit of a problem with his line. Akshay, just give me a few moments. We'll reconnect with you and our reporters from different parts of the national capital getting us reports to tell you what the situation is. Amit, I want to come back to you briefly while we fix that line with Akshay. You've been out since yesterday morning. Compared to yesterday and today, and while I see people struggling through and managing to get to their workplace, you know, this is peak hour. People are wading through that water, somehow trying to reach their workplace. From yesterday to today, is there some sense of normalcy that's creeped in, at least in streets of Delhi? Has the water level receded in at least some parts? My apologies. We'll reconnect with Amit in just a bit, but we're going to keep our focus firmly on what's happening on the ground and get you multiple reports from the national capital. Here's a report right now by Sushant Mehra.
आप तस्वीरों में देख सकते हैं कि पानी का फ्लो किस तरीके से जबरदस्त तरीके से आगे की तरफ यहां पर बढ़ता हुआ। राजघाट की ये तस्वीरें हैं जहां पर आधे से ज्यादा राजघाट इस वक्त जो है वो पानी में डूबा हुआ है। ये स्थिति है राजघाट की। इसके अलावा अगर बात की जाए तो रिंग रोड की भी यही स्थिति जो है वो लबालब नजर आ रही है। यहां से जाने वाले रास्ते जितने भी हैं उन सबको फिलहाल बंद किया गया है। ट्रैफिक मूवमेंट पर भी पुलिस की निगाहें जो है वो बनी हुई है, क्योंकि इसके अलावा अगर बात की जाए तो दिल्ली के सराय काले खां से होते हुए कई रास्तों को जो है वो फिलहाल पुलिस की तरफ से बंद किया गया है, क्योंकि काफी ज्यादा वाटर लॉगिंग जो है वो देखने को मिल रही है। दिल्ली के कई इलाकों में इस वक्त वाटर लॉगिंग जो है वो फिलहाल देखने को मिल रही है। प्रशासन की तरफ से पूरी कोशिश की जा रही है कि इस तरफ जो लोग हैं अगर आते हैं उनको रोका जाए। कैमरा पर्सन लोकेंद्र के साथ सुशांत मेहरा, दिल्ली।
And we're getting reports that in Rajghat right now water continues to flow right through and it's going up right now in those particular pockets. Aishwarya Paliwal is joining us live from Red Fort, where unfortunately I see, Aishwarya, there's no improvement in the situation, still waist deep water. Aishwarya, can you hear me? I'm going to reconnect with Aishwarya. Apologies for that, but we're having a tough time establishing a connection with our reporters. When I was there last evening as well, it's in these parts which are completely inundated that there is a weak signal. Communication is a serious problem there, adding to all of the woes already that Delhiites are going through right now. But we'll try to connect with our reporters, get you some live reports. In the meanwhile, I wanted to take a look at what our reporters have to say about the situation in different parts of Delhi. If you live in Delhi and you're planning to step out, which are the roads to avoid? Here's a report by Anisha Mathur.
Oh, I'm right now outside the Swaminarayan Mandir, and as you can see, I'm sitting on top of a tractor because cars cannot come on this road. This is the road that comes from Kashmiri Gate, ISBT, from via civil lines towards the Chankira Makhara DRDO and the Chief Minister's residence. And you can see here the Swaminarayan Mandir, which is an old temple in civil lines. There's a boat here which is getting supplies and people in and out. The entire civil lines, this is one of the poshest old areas of Delhi. And the cars you see here, I'm just going to ask Ankit to sort of zoom in and show you. This is at least 3.5 to 4 feet of water. These are SUVs, these are very expensive cars that are currently drowning underwater. If you can see the tops of these cars, we can see several other cars which are even more underwater. Barely the roof of the car is visible around here. And this is the Kashmiri Gate area.
Okay, so that was a report by Anisha Mathur. You just saw the situation right now in civil lines. By the way, where Anisha was reporting from, that's just meters away from Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's residence. So no part of Delhi right now has been spared. Every single lane, street close to the Yamuna completely waterlogged. This isn't the situation across the capital, but any place that currently borders Yamuna is in peril, is surrounded by water.
हम इस वक्त किसी नदी नाले में खड़े नहीं हैं, बल्कि आईटीओ चौराहे पर खड़े हैं। जी हां, चौंकिए मत, आईटीओ चौराहे की ये तस्वीरें हैं। जो पानी है यमुना का, वो आईटीओ चौराहे तक पहुंच गया है। रात में यहां पर पानी आना शुरू हुआ था और लगातार पानी का लेवल यहां पर बढ़ता जा रहा है। आप देखिए, ये जो पूरी तस्वीरें आप देख रहे हैं, ये आईटीओ चौराहे की है। ये बेहद महत्वपूर्ण रोड है, बेहद इंपॉर्टेंट ये चौराहा है और यहां पर बाढ़ का पानी पहुंच गया है। देखिए, सरकारी ऑफिस में भी पानी घुस चुका है। ये आयकर भवन है, ये पानी का लेवल अंदर प्रीमिसेस यहां भी है। वो सामने जो तमाम सरकारी दफ्तर आप देख रहे हैं, उन सबके प्रीमिसेस में पानी अंदर जा चुका है। तो यही वजह है कि सरकार ने कहा है कि अगर जरूरी ना हो तो घरों से ना निकले, क्योंकि कई सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो निकल रहे हैं और बाहर निकलने के बाद उनकी गाड़ियां खराब हो जा रही है और वो फंस जा रहे हैं या फिर ट्रैफिक जैम में फंस जा रहे हैं। कैमरामैन प्रदीप गुप्ता के साथ हिमांशु मिश्रा, दिल्ली।
Delhi's Rajghat, a very iconic place, a place that is a big attraction for tourists as well, has now become an island. Almost an island, because the island kind of shape that you see behind me is Rajghat, and it is surrounded by water completely, and water flow has intensified in the last 24 hours. The Yamuna water level have slightly dipped. However, the encavements, the walls that were there to protect water level, water of the river from entering into the city, there are cracks there, and that is why the intensity of water flowing into the city has increased in the past 24 hours. And as you can see, the flow of water is almost like a river, because the water that is coming from the flooded areas are now flooding the other areas that are especially low-lying areas of the national capital. There are two problems that the people of the national capital are facing, two imminent crises. First is because of the water treatment plants not being functional around Yamuna river. There will be shortage of drinking water in the national capital, and that is going to be a big crisis. Second is that there are waterlogged areas across the national capital in several places. Despite no rainfall for the past 4 days, there is waterlogging on several places. There is no proper drainage system in many of these areas, and that is why the waterlogging will create diseases, will also create a conducive environment for mosquitoes to breed, and that may in fact lead to a hazard as far as the health of the people of the national capital are concerned.